UFC 296 rundown, starting with Vicente Luque versus Garry. I'm going to go with Vicente Luque in this fight. I think he brings a style that really forces something out of Garry, something out of Garry that we have not seen yet. I think it's a style that will always test an Garry style. Garry loves to throw his kicks. He's very kick heavy. He's got good hands as well, but he's not quite Connor. He's not quite the guy who's going to go in there and, you have to get through his hands first. You get me? Connor is a punch first kind of a guy. Garry is a kick first kind of a guy. With kick first kind of guys, you could kind of walk them down and put pressure on them, and really put them things on them. And I think that's what Vicente Luque is gonna try to do. Vicente Luque is gonna go out there and do what he does, which is pressure, get up close on you, and put hands on you, and feet and knees too. Vicente Luque has a very he'll throw some kicks with you as well, but Vicente Luque likes to get up close and do it. He likes to throw knees too. He likes to get up real close and make it a dogfight. And he's experienced. He's 32 years old, right in the prime of his life, and he is battle tested, whereas Garry, we haven't seen it yet. I'm not saying he can't pass the test. Garry very well may go out there and prove, if you are what you say you are, if he can go out there and do that and fucking show the world, I'm Garry, this is me, use the footwork, the pretty technical style, the finesse style. It's a complete polar opposite in terms of matchups, guys. This is why I love this fight. And he has to overcome all of the outside noise. You got big people in the sport with big platforms, MMA guru, talking crazy about, your situation, all this stuff. Not just him, but you have other content creators out there talking about it. Then you have fighters talking about it to where, Chael Sonnen's coming out and talking about it. And you're like, yo, like, this is my personal, holy, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell? It's a lot. Where he's turning off comments. It's a lot. And we saw how Israel Adesanya kind of stumbled dealing with the crowd turning on him. It's a lot to deal with when you are no longer the darling. I think Garry's used to that. He hasn't experienced quite being the heel and thriving off negative energy. And I don't think he's that kind of a guy. And I see him losing this fight to Vicente Luque. I just think it's a perfect storm. Styles make fights, and the fact that all this negativity is surrounding him. That's my take on that one. So I'm going Vicente Luque. Moving on to Tony Ferguson versus Paddy Pimblett. If this was Tony Ferguson prior to even the Bobby Green fight, I would have probably picked Tony Ferguson. But the fact that Tony Ferguson lost to Bobby Green, to me, was a crazy eye-opener. It's like, whoa. And why do I say that? I say that because a prime Tony Ferguson, not even prime, right? The Tony Ferguson that lost to Justin Gaethje, even, right? The one after him. If he fights Bobby Green, he wins. Like, there was never a time conceivable, especially not when Tony was at his peak in like 2016, 2017. There's no way you're going to look at that and say, yeah, Bobby had a chance. Bobby Green beating Tony Ferguson, for you new fans, for you people that don't know, was something that was inconceivable, bro. It was something that was like, what? Incredible fall from grace from Tony Ferguson. He's working with David Goggins. I don't know what that's going to do. I think it may pull something deep out of him. Maybe it's some sort of mental thing. Maybe it's a spiritual thing. He broke through some sort of pain or whatever, right? He broke through it. He showed that he has the will to go through these things, but I think he's always had that. He just sort of reinforced it more. I'm not quite sure what's different. I don't know if he's going to go in there and show us anything different against Paddy, but maybe he does. Who knows, man? I'm rooting for Tony Ferguson. I want to see him fight beat Paddy Pimblett, rather. And, yeah, but that's not what I see happening. I think Paddy Pimblett goes out there. I don't know how he gets it done. I think he even looks bad doing it. Like, I could see him even getting clipped a couple times, maybe whatever. But I could see Paddy getting a hold of Tony at some point, Paddy, the much younger guy, I would say maybe probably has a strength advantage now. He could take him down, grab his back, and do something. I mean, even talking about it there, like now that I think about it, it's like Paddy's chance is submitting Tony. You know what I mean? That's his chance. But then again, Bobby Green submitted Tony. You get what I'm saying, guys? Bobby Green submitted Tony fucking Ferguson, and if that could happen, Paddy Pimblett could submit him. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with logic. Tony Ferguson's on a 6-fight losing streak. I'm not gonna think with my heart. I'm gonna think with my, my brain. Be logical, and yeah. So moving on to Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, if this was the first look that we had of him, I would probably go with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. What do I mean the first look? I mean, if Stephen Wonderboy Thompson was still this puzzle to be solved, I think it would be something different. I think if he was, some new mystery, he may be able to get the jump on Shavkat Rakhmonov, but he's not. He's not in his prime anymore. This isn't the Johnny Hendricks Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. This is a different Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. A Wonderboy Thompson that's had his hands broken many more times after that. A Stephen Wonderboy Thompson who's been knocked out a few times after that. A Stephen Wonderboy Thompson who's been, when I say a few times, I remember the Pettis fight, but he's been hurt. You get what I'm saying? A Wonderboy Thompson who's been beaten, someone that we've seen. We have a lot of footage on Wonderboy Thompson. Before, if you wanted to prepare for his style, it's like, bro, what am I going to do? But now, you throw the tape on, you watch the style, you fucking call Ramon Daniels, you do your thing. There's a lot of people out there that could replicate Wonderboy Thompson's style, and, I'm sure Shavkat's seen it, and I'm sure Shavkat's able to take this fight to the ground. Even if he's not, I think Shavkat kind of does his thing against Wonderboy style on the feet. I haven't seen someone who can't strike in Shavkat Rakhmonov. That's not me. I've seen a guy who can do everything. So, and become like a weird fucking murderous zombie and choke you in weird positions where it's like, whoa, chill, bro. You know what I mean? You got to chill out, bro. That picture of him choking Jeff Neal's crazy. But, yeah, I'm going Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think if the fight lasts long, I think he butchers up Wonderboy Thompson. Wonderboy Thompson gets beat up. And I like Wonderboy, but it is what it is. The old to the young. That's how the sport keeps going. Moving on to Alexander Pantoja versus Brandon Royval. Not the biggest interest for me, I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe I'll get into this fight. I'm trying to get into the flyweights. I'm not really into the flyweights. It is what it is. I'll go Royval. I'll go Royval. He'll probably gets it done. This title will probably bounce around a few times before we get another Demetrius Johnson type who's able to hold the belt and fucking run with it. I even think if Demetrius Johnson were to come back to the UFC, he'd most likely take an L just because of, how high the talent is and all things like that. So I'm going with Brandon Royval, the hungry guy who hasn't had his shot at the title. So moving on. Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington, the main event. This fight right here is I gotta go Colby, bro. I gotta go Colby, just because we saw Kamaru Usman's attempt at Leon Edwards, and he mostly won that fight. But guess what? Leon proved that he can knock him the hell out. And if Leon can knock out Usman, and if Leon can give Usman a tough fight, he can certainly give Colby a tough fight. They both have the same similar styles. However, Colby has a little more volume in the punching on the feet. But that could get into some trouble. That could get him into some trouble. If you try to throw high volume and you don't know what you're doing compared to a guy like Leon Edwards, who's a chess master on the feet, and, timing you and setting you up for things rounds in the head, and then boom, head kick in round 5. You get what I'm saying? Like, Leon Edwards is a chess master out there, and, if Colby strikes with him too long, he can get himself in trouble. He needs to wrestle. And, this isn't Masvidal who's going to, I think Leon's on another level than a Masvidal, personally for me. Maybe not in terms of danger, but I think so. After that head kick, you kind of have to give it to him. You can't really use the Leon's boring moniker anymore because he's shown potential where he can snipe you. I'm going with Leon. I don't know who I'm going with on this one. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you agree, disagree, it doesn't matter. Join the discussion and please follow for more. Thank you.